today I'm going to be covering weight loss and how it all works, how you gain weight, how you lose weight, how you stay at the same weight, and try and just simplify everything for you, because it is so confusing with all the information out there. You can feel so lost and confused and just give up hope and just get frustrated with the fact that you just don't feel like you're making any progress or understanding what's really going on. The one thing weight loss really comes down to, or gaining weight or staying at the same weight, is not a magic pill. It's not some special sort of foods or herbs or remedies. It's simply calories, how many calories you eat. So that is literally, but the video summed up, it's calories. So at the end of the day, it's calories in, calories out. So what that means is, if you consume calories, the more you consume, the more energy you're putting into your body, which means the more energy you can expend and burn, you need to burn off. Otherwise, those extra calories are stored as fat later on. So it comes down to how many calories you're going in and going out, so how many calories you consume and then expend. So what do I really mean by calories in, calories out in simple terms? So I'll give you an example. So if you were to burn 2,500 calories a day, to lose weight, you would need to eat less than 2,500 calories in the day. So say, for example, you burn 2,500 and you eat 2,200. In that day, you're in what's called a calorific deficit, which means you have eaten less than you've expended. So you've consumed less than you've burnt off. So if you consume 2,200 and you burn 2,500 in a particular day, you'd be in a calorie deficit of 300 calories that day. So you'd be in minus 300 calories that day. And that's it. That is it. That's all you have to do to lose weight, is be in a calorie deficit in simple terms. That's the main thing I want you to take from this video. That's all you've got to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight. If you're trying to gain weight and you're putting on weight, the opposite's happening. You're in a calorie surplus. So for example, same person, you burn 2,500 calories a day and you eat 2,800 calories, you're in a 300 plus calorie surplus. So that means that you're gonna gain weight over time. The more weight you'll gain, over the bigger the surplus, and the more days you're in a surplus, as it all just accumulates over time. So maintenance is quite self-explanatory now. So say if you burn 2,500 calories and you've consumed 2,500 calories, you go 2,500 minus 2,500, minusing the burnt from the consumed, you're ending up at zero. So at maintenance, when you consume 2,500 calories minus that from your burnt 2,500 calories, you equal 0 calories, meaning you're at dead maintenance. You're not going to lose or gain any weight at the end of the day. If you stayed at maintenance for your whole life, you wouldn't gain or lose any weight. Calories are energy. It's all the laws of thermodynamics, how energy can't be created or destroyed. Your energy is just transferred. So it's all, calories are an energy source for your body. It's chemical energy. So when you're in deficit, your body needs to draw that chemical energy from places like fat stores in the body and uses those as energy. And over time, the longer you're in a deficit sustained for a long period of time, your body is going to keep drawing upon those fat stores and other energy stores in the body to use for energy to make up for those missing calories. So I'm just going to give you an example of how your fat storages can be depleted over time by just being in what I recommend is a good healthy deficit for maintaining muscle mass of minus 300 calories. So I'm going to give you that example now. For example, if you're in a 300 calorie deficit for 3 months of every day being in a 300 calorie deficit, that is a total loss of 27,900 calories deficit for those 3 months, assuming there's 31 days in a month, that there would be a deficit of 27,900 calories for the 3 months. So that is 3.1 kilograms of fat, or 6.83 pounds of fat burnt in 3 months because of your 3-month deficit of 300 calories. So this is the way that you lose weight. So by constantly just chipping off the calories, but over time you're drawing from your fat cells and depleting them, and other energy sources in the body sometimes, but mainly your fat cells, will get depleted over time as you're drawing on the body for that energy, for those missing calories, and that's how you start to lose your fat storage over time and how you lose your weight and get shredded. So that's literally the main part of what I want you guys to take away from this video. It is literally as simple as calories in, calories out. There's no magic like don't eat bread, don't eat carbs. Carbs are good, especially the healthy ones like complex carbs, but I just don't be like a carbophobe. Don't be scared of fruit and fruit sugars, fructose. Eat healthily. But if you're trying to lose weight, it's just calories in, calories out. So what would I recommend do? If I was overweight and I wanted to lose a bit of body fat, or if I just was getting lean for something, what would I personally do? So what I would do is I would be at a 300 calorie-ish deficit, minus 300 calories, maybe close to minus 200 at the start of my diet, and then work to minus 300 calories and just sustain at that level for a long period of time. And then when I'm happy, I'd go to maintenance, because if you go on a very gradual deficit, you're not gonna lose as much muscle mass as you would if you went on like a minus 1000 calorie deficit, because your body will start drawing from your protein sources and other sources of the energy in the body, which you don't want to do if your goal is muscle mass. And it's also a healthier, more sustainable way of losing weight, and it's easier to do, and it's easier to lose weight this way, as you're not going to suffer as much over a long period of time with a little bit of suffering, rather than a short period of time where it's just too much to bear and you're going to break eventually. So if your goal is to keep muscle mass and lose some weight, which I'm sure probably is for the majority of the people watching this video, you're going to want to just gradually cut your calories slowly. Like a minus 300 calorie deficit is pretty ideal for most people. So that's what I would do. But there's also the question of, would you weigh everything out and track all your calories and try and work out how many you've burned? So would I track all my calories and try and work out how many I've burned? Depends. It really depends. I really don't think I would. Maybe at the very start, if I had no idea how to eyeball food and like look at, oh, that's this amount of calories. If you're way off and you've got no clue on how to judge your calories, I'd recommend tracking. You are going to be slightly wrong. Even if you weigh everything out, you are going to be slightly wrong, because meats have different cuts and they have different fats in them and whatever. Some are leaner than others. But I wouldn't weigh out food personally, because I'm quite good at judging how many calories are in a meal. But for you, if you don't have a clue how many calories are in something, maybe weigh stuff out and track it for a while, and then over time you start to learn what foods are better for you to eat, which are lower calories and keep you fuller for longer, which are generally fibrous foods, so foods with higher fiber. So low calorie dense foods, which I'm going to come on to in a second, explain what they are. But the accuracy of how many calories you've burned and eaten are really quite hard to work out. So what the best thing you can do is, and the safest thing, which I would personally do because I can roughly judge how many calories are in a meal, I would eat a little bit less than I was. And not as in terms of volume. You can have as much volume of food, but you'd have to have less calories in that volume, if that makes sense. So like, instead of having your peanut butter or an avocado, you're going to have something like blueberries or watermelon, which are much lower in calories, but you get more volume for the calories that you're eating. So these are low calorie dense foods. So I'm going to quickly explain what low calorie dense foods are. So low calorie dense foods are foods that are low in calories, so they've got less calories and they're quite dense. So they're filling because they're dense. Things like fiber make them dense, compared to high calorie foods, which aren't very dense, which are foods like peanut butter to an extent and things like that. I'm not saying don't eat peanut butter, but it's just a good example of what's really high in calories and not very dense and don't fill you up. So low calorie dense foods are really great for that. There are so many foods like that. I'll do another video on some good low calorie dense foods that I'd recommend if you're trying to lose weight and trying to find some low calorie options for snacks and things. So they're the ideal foods for losing weight if you're a very hungry person and you want to keep up your eating volume to a maximum, which I definitely would. I love eating a lot of food. So low calorie dense foods are key to doing it more effortlessly. There's obviously got to be some sort of willpower from you guys to lose weight, but there's definitely a lot of tricks that can help you guys out. Another little trick is trying to eat slowly. If you eat slower, your brain has more time to register with your stomach how full it really is, compared to having if you just wolf something down, if you see all these speed eaters, they will eat it so quickly before their brain has the time to register how much food has really gone into the stomach and filled them up. But that's just a quick tip. I'll elaborate on some of these things that I've mentioned in another video because there's a lot to talk about on this topic. But the main thing I want you guys to take away from this video would be calories in, calories out is all you need to work out to lose weight. You get into a calorie deficit, so you burn more than you're consuming. So eat less, burn more. So this is where cardio ties in as well, and just exercise. But again, so much to elaborate on. If you guys also watch my how to build muscle video, that's a really great one to also understand about the calorie deficit and how you can build muscle in a deficit. So I really recommend you guys watching it to supplement this video. So I'm gonna wrap this video up for you guys here. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, bell button. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.